My dark and lovely souls, my name is Lenny Graves, and as I sit here somewhere between the land of the dead and the land of the living, I have contemplated many things, and in the contemplation in the shadows, I found your shadow. And your shadow has a message for you. And yes, you found me for a reason, and specifically you. Your shadow needs to speak to you, and you're not listening to your shadow. If you don't know what your shadow is, my dark and lovely souls, the best way to put this is, let's say that our soul is like this bright light in the ether, okay, or the astral, however you want to put it. And in that light, though, there can be no light without shadow. There can be no good without evil. There's all that kind of good stuff. So there's a shadow cast in the ethereal, and that shadow is your shadow self. And it is a dark, demonic reflection of yourself, but it is still you. And sometimes we need the darker part of ourselves to advise the lighter part of ourselves, because it is much like the episode of Star Trek, my dark and lovely souls, where this is why you guys come to me, is for the deep mystical advice, where Captain Kirk gets split between good Kirk and evil Kirk. Do you guys remember this one? Evil Kirk has eyeliner because he's metal that way. But evil Kirk's insane. He's just going, but good Kirk can't live without him because it's his drive, it's his aggression, and stuff like that, right? So we need both our light and our shadow, right? We need both. And sometimes we have to listen to our shadow, but we try not to, obviously, because we try to be the best people that we need to. But when I was down in the underworld, my dark and lovely soul, and that's where your shadow likes to bounce around, I got something to tell you, and I'm going to use the cards to tell it. So let's pull 3 cards and make a story. While we're doing this, we're going to shuffle 3 times, though, and I want you to kind of give me your energy, because this is important that I make the connection with you, because it's specifically your shadow. Now, do I read for a lot of people? Yes, but it's still specifically your shadow. Isn't that fun how time and space works that way, my dark and lovely souls? How you found me where you needed to, and somebody else did too, because we all kind of find each other when we need to find each other, right? That's the way that kind of works. Ooh, I got card flip in the deck. We got something needs to be told. One more shuffle. One more. Bearing with me, guys. See what your shadow wants you to know. 5 of Wands. We're going to pull 3 cards. We're going to make a little story. 4 of Pentacles. 7 of Swords. Woo! 2 more so I can clarify it. 10 of Pentacles. And then finally the Star. My dark and lovely souls, go buy a TV. Go get a new outfit. Go take your girl or guy out to the bar tonight and have a couple shots of tequila. Whatever is fun for you. See, what I get this thing is you've been struggling. That's that 5 of Wands. You've been working. You've been looking for that job, like George Thorogood's song, and your feet are tired, right? The edge of waiting on the pole. And you've been pinching pennies. You haven't been fun. You've been that person. Are you the person? Have you been clipping coupons, my dark and lovely soul? Are you that person in the line at the grocery store that's holding everybody else up, and they're just like, oh God, because you're trying to save? That's that 4 of Pentacles energy. You're working hard. You're holding on to stuff, but you're lying to yourself, thinking this is going to solve your problem. Because my dark and lovely souls, as we go through life, we can never beat life. This is something that people try to do all the time, and they just can't do it. There was always going to be more work. There is always going to be another meal that needs to be made. There is always going to be another floor that needs to be vacuumed, another report that needs to be filed. There is always, as I'm knocking cards down, something else that we need to do. What leads us to wealth and happiness, which is the 10 of Pentacles and the Star, is having fun. We don't need to pinch every single penny. We need to be responsible. That's obvious. That's what the 4 of Pentacles with the 10 of Pentacles over it. But you're lying to yourself about wish fulfillment. So I hope you're not doing this, my dark and lovely soul, and this is for a lot of my dark and lovely souls. I see it in the flame, is that we get too altruistic. We get too wrapped up in our goals and stuff like that. And we really think we can accomplish it. And my dark and lovely souls, one goal will always lead to another goal. So I am going to advise you, as the Scarecrow and Wicked, I can't think of the guy's name normally, where you dance through life just being shallow, right? It's just, that's what your shadow wants you to know. Sometimes it's okay to be a little bit shallow. Sometimes it's okay to blow some money. Sometimes it's okay to not save. Sometimes it is okay to be the proverbial Ferris Bueller and skip school and go have an amazing day. I am your permission from the universe. You need to get that proverbial stick out of that proverbial and go out and let it loose, okay? Because you need to do this. Because if we don't have fun in life, dark and lovely souls, what's the point of life? Life is just a series of moments, and we should have great moments that give us great accomplishments, right? I'm not saying don't work hard, because that's a beautiful thing in itself. But when we get tied up so much in the monotony of work that we don't allow ourselves pleasure, oh, that chokes our shadow. And then choking our shadow and choking our Pan versus our Hermes nature, right? Our primordial nature versus our intellectual nature, that will begin to choke out our intellectual nature. Sometimes we have to indulge. A monster I am, lest a monster I become. Sometimes we have to have a little bit of fun, or otherwise we're just going to have a fun explosion one day and make a lot of bad decisions. It's okay to go have fun. You're still going to get that 10 of Pentacles. You're still going to get that wish. You're going to be able to work with the 3 of Pentacles, but you don't need to worry about stuff with the 9 of Swords, because as the Christ would say, tomorrow will take care of itself. Today has enough worries, and today I wish JC was around. He'd pop some water into wine. We'd have a party. I'm going to hell, my dark and lovely souls. You don't need to follow me there. But seriously, tomorrow will take care of itself. You don't need to worry about it. What was the thing with that little birds? The birds don't reap nor sow, but the Lord loves. You don't need to worry about tomorrow. You can be okay today. You can just have fun. You can just go have some fun. You can let loose a little bit. Not everybody needs to hear this, but the people whose shadows are telling them this, that found this, oh, you need to know, because you're choking out your bestial self, your primordial self. And when you're doing that, well, you're just choking out your higher self as well, because we have to have balance in life. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. You do not want to be Jack Torrance typing away his manuscript at the Overlook Hotel. We don't want to go that far. We don't. So go have the drink. I missed the whole point of that movie, Dark and Lovely. I'm sorry. Anyway, no, but go have some fun, right? Go have that drink, Jack Torrance. It'll be fun. Go have some fun. Seriously, I'm not a good wizard, my Dark and Lovely souls. I'm telling you what your shadow wants you to know, but it is true. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. We cannot be completely good without being a little bit evil. We have to have duality in our lives, right? We have to have the good side and the dark side, right? Some Force stuff going on. We have to be Jedi and Sith, right? We have to have them both. So indulge a little bit, okay? Be a little wicked for me. I'm your sign from the universe. Don't trust the guy with the demonic eyes and the tattoos. You probably don't want to do that. But if you do, I'm telling you, go out there and have a little bit of fun. That's what your shadow needs you to know, because you're choking your shadow out. And sometimes we got to feed the shadow just a little bit, or otherwise we drive our shadow mad. He takes over. The next thing we know, we're all pent up. Then we go to the Pink Pony Club, sure, and do a tequila pyramid. And then the next thing you know, you are dancing in your heels, and just it's on the internet, and it's not good for anybody. And that's, yeah, anyway. But yeah, just have a little bit of fun, because otherwise it's just going to be like, a kettle pressure cooker, boom. We don't want to do that. As I'm hitting my table and everything, we don't want that to happen. My dark and lovely souls, my name is Lenny Graves. You can find me at TikTok and YouTube at The Lenny Graves, and you can find me at Dysfunctional Enlightenment on Facebook and Instagram, and I would really love to see you there. If you like the way that I read cards, and I really hope that you do, you can always get a personal reading at TheLennyGraves.com. My dark and lovely souls, go have fun. That's what your shadow wants you to know. And having a fun, you're going to free like your higher self. And the lovers, you're just going to be happy. You and your shadow are going to reconcile. You guys are going to be taking walks. People are going to be like freaking out because you got this giant shadow on them. But no, your shadow will reconcile with yourself. You'll find balance within yourself, that duality that you need to, and increases your power as a magician or witch overall. And life just is super cool. So go be super cool, my dark and lovely soul. Have the best night.